Alrighty, short-term rental cheat codes number 11, permission. Now this is one of the very top tips I can give you because permission is the difference between trespassing and being a welcome guest. Now, when you're trying to find your next short-term rental, this is so key because everybody around you has leads for you, but if you don't ask for permission for them to share it with you, they're not going to be knowing what to share, right? So when you're asking permission, there's a few different ways that you can do this. First, you listen to what people say, and based on what they say, there's often going to be a moment when you're like, I wonder if that property would work for one of my needs. And you ask them, hey, based on what you just said, is it okay if I share something that might be of value to you? And suddenly you open up the door to the potential of having another lead. So let's move on to this next idea. Trespassing. When you are trying to just pull information out of people without asking, or trying to tell them something without them being willing to really receive it, you are trespassing on their thoughts, on their property. You do not want to do that, right? So when you're trying to find a short-term rental, it comes down to, are you welcome there? Right? You want to make sure that it's not just welcome. Are you in a place where you are asking for permission? Okay. So next, with this idea of permission, every single person that you speak to has a password to be able to get to know them. When you open up your ears to listen, and you really listen proportionally, right? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You listen proportionally. Sometimes people will tell you what their password is to be able to open those doors that wouldn't normally be open to you. So what I mean by this is the difference between trying to break some locks, like bolt cutter style, where you are forcing yourself into a new lead or a new property, new opportunity, or having the right key that allows you to get in. So when you're talking to a landlord, we're going to pretend like you are wanting to rent a space. This is an arbitrage model. You go up to your landlord and you start by listening to what they have, what it is that you could do to insert your value, right? And suddenly when you start to really notice what things you bring to the table and how you can meet their needs, suddenly they're going to be much more open to the opportunity of renting to you, right? And if you're trying to purchase this property, we're going to give you another example. If you're trying to purchase a property from someone, it comes down to, what are their pain points? What are the things that this disgruntled landlord or this seller has that is just too much for them? Why are they selling? You really get down to the brass tacks of knowing what is it that is going to open them up to this opportunity. Because if there's a for sale by owner sign out in front of their house, there's something that is motivating them to sell. It might be the money. It might not have anything to do with that. It might be time. If you can close quickly, suddenly you might have an opportunity, right? It also might be something like, hey, I have to leave with my job and it is going to be really far away. I have to get out of this property quickly. So sometimes it's not about the money, it's about solving the problems. All right, this is adorable. All right, I'm gonna talk to you about how you get doors open to you. If you really wanna get more units in your short-term rental business, you have to figure out ways to open doors for yourself, right? This could be networking. It could be going to networking events. It could be building a community online, on Facebook groups, whatever you need to do to open those doors, right? If you do not know clearly what it is that you want, the door may be open already, but you didn't walk through it because you weren't recognizing it. There are opportunities everywhere. You just have to be clear on what it is that you want. So when you are walking up to a new property, this is an example that I wanted to give from when I was a missionary in Taiwan. In Taiwan, there are these different types of doors, right? You walk up to someone's house in Taiwan and they often will have sliding doors, or they'll have a garage door that raises up. So they usually can't see you when you're in front of their door. And you'll say something like this. You'll say, "Ko, ko, ko." And that's what this is right down here. What ko, ko, ko does is it alerts them that you're at the door. You're at the munko, the doorway, and you are wanting them to grant you permission to enter. Permission is key. If you don't get permission, there's no way these doors are going to be open to you. If you don't listen with the intent to really actively understand what it is that are the needs of these landlords, these sellers, you're not going to be able to get those doors open to you, and they'll be closed before you even start. If you go up to a landlord and say, hey, I have an Airbnb business, can I run it out of your place? They're most likely just gonna shut that door right on you. You have to know what value do you bring to them, and you think of it from their perspective. So ask permission to see if they're open to income opportunities and security that's different than they may be used to. You're going to be the best tenant that they've ever had, or you're going to have such a great sales process while you're purchasing this property that they're going to want, if they have more properties, they're going to want to give you more and more of them because the transition was so smooth. So I hope that was valuable. You want to make sure that you are asking permission, and that's going to open up a ton of doors for you. Knock and you shall receive. Thanks, guys.